Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Data's in Control podcast. My name is Brian Chauvet, and I'm the founder of Data's in Control. So, like I alluded to in the last podcast, I've been doing a lot of self-reflection lately by utilizing some tools like self-evaluations and just asking myself some difficult questions or deep dive questions, if you will. And one that I found myself asking a lot lately is, what do you want? What do I want? And what am I leaving on the table? Now, I find in previous years, I've greatly underestimated the value of these questions. I've really looked past them. I've rushed through them, and I haven't given myself an honest answer. And this year, I'm searching deep down inside myself to really figure out what it is that I want. What do I want for myself, both physically and mentally? What do I want inside my marriage? What do I want with my relationship with my kids? What do I want within my businesses? What do I want within my environment around me? Now, needless to say, this isn't something that took me, 1 or 2 minutes to do. It's taken me weeks to kind of get to the bottom of this. And I've been thinking about this a lot. And thinking about the other part of this question, which was, what am I leaving on the table? Well, last year, financially, what did I leave on the table? Last year with my kids, what did I leave on the table? With my wife, with my relationship, with my house and my environment around me, what did I leave on the table? And I have to be honest, guys, this was not easy. This was hard, and it was painful, and it brought up some terrible feelings inside me. But once you work through these terrible feelings, once you work through these quote-unquote stories, if you will, then things become much more clear. Things become easier, and you can really evaluate where it is that you want to go and which direction you want to head in, and use this as a tool to kind of move forward. Now, I think some of you guys that are actually listening to this podcast are probably laughing at me thinking, wow, it took you that long to get to the bottom of this shit? Well, you know what? I never really learned how to do this, and I wasn't taught from a young age how to feel. And I think most guys that are listening to this podcast really can understand that perspective. I think most people that listen to this come from the same generation as me, 36, 37-ish years old, and our fathers were raised by people that, were part of the Industrial Revolution. So what happens is, all of a sudden, dad's not working on a farm anymore. Dad's going off to a factory to work. And now the boys and girls are being raised by mom. And mom has to teach these kids masculine and feminine traits. And when dad gets home from work, dad, sits down in the chair because he's tired, flips on football and has a beer, and just wants a minute to relax. And then all of a sudden it's dinner time, and you eat dinner, and then where does he go? Right after dinner, they go right to their chair, right back to watching football or whatever it is. Now, I'm not saying this is how I was raised. I'm not saying this is what my father did. I'm just using this as an example because this generation of men tried to teach our generation, us, how to use and how to feel in what should be real and what shouldn't be real, and if you're suppressing and whatnot. We are completely out of touch with how we feel. So of course this took me so long. It's not easy to do. It's not easy to go into these dark areas of your body, these dark areas of your soul, these dark areas of your desires. It takes work. It takes practice. Now, the very discovery of this kind of thought process for myself, it really made me wonder, what am I teaching my kids? What type of value are they getting from me? Where do I want that to look like in their life? Do I want them to be and have to do this kind of work and learn this kind of work for themselves? Or do I want to show them and expose them to this thought process so that they can understand and be more in tune with their feelings? Because I feel like it's super important for us to show our kids the way, show our kids the path, because they have these really complicated feelings. And rather than lashing out on social media, rather than lashing out on Facebook or Instagram, on Twitter, by doing this the correct way and putting this in a journal and getting their feelings out of them and exposing themselves to exploring the deep down inside of them and exploring what their true desires, their wants, their needs are, and what they truly want, having them explore the way that they want to live their lives rather than having society dictate to them what they should be valuing and what they should want to do. This is something that is ultra important for me, and this has just came up over the soul searching in the past few days. I came across a post on Facebook, and the post was something along the lines of, our kids are being taught how to become men by people on YouTube, by cartoons, and by other outlets, rather than their fathers. Most fathers are completely out of touch with how to teach their kids how to become men or adults or responsible human beings, members of society. And this is prevalent all over our society. It's present in our governments, it's present in our leaderships, it's present in our big corporations. This is destroying humanity. This thought process, or lack of thought process, lack of individuality, is destroying what it means to be us. So I'm challenging everyone that's listening to this podcast today, everyone that has a brain in their head and wants to learn how to think on their own, do this exercise, because you'll find insightful things inside of you. You just have to learn to do the work and sift through the bullshit. And that's the hard part, sifting through the bullshit, sifting through the things that society deems us, that we should want to be keto, we should want to be paleo, we should want to be this, we should want to be that, we should want this new iWatch, we should want this new. What is it that you truly value? Do you really enjoy surfing? Do you really want to try surfing? Do you want to write a book? Or how about, do you want to do a TED Talk? Or do you want to climb a mountain, free climb a mountain? Whatever it is, you should really explore these feelings and these intuitions inside of you and listen to that little voice. And when you investigate this feeling, you can really look at this in so many different ways. You can look at the clothing you wear. You can look at the shoes you wear. You can look at the car you drive. You can look at everything. Why is it that you have this? Does this bring you joy? Is this something that society says you need? Maybe you want to ride your bike to work. Maybe it's a 20-mile ride and it's minus 17 degrees and you really want to do it, but people might think you're crazy. Who gives a fuck? Listen to your core beliefs and your core values. But the only way that you can get deep down inside yourself to realize that these things exist is by doing these exercises, by opening this emotional can of baggage, by delving into it and sifting through the bullshit. This is some of the most rewarding work that you'll do. And as you find you're doing this, you'll become happier. And your wife is going to notice that you're happier, and your kids are going to pick up. And then share this with your kids. Share these feelings. Talk to them. Communicate. I'm happier because I found something I love. And how about you try this with me? Maybe you won't like it. Maybe you will. But our kids need to know that this is okay. That writing in their journal, by also exploring their feelings by example, show them the way, because nobody's going to show them how. We're going to raise a broken bunch of kids that learn how to do everything off of YouTube, that don't know how and don't understand how to have their own creative thought, that don't understand how to delve deep inside their emotions, that don't understand how to feel these emotions and how to understand these emotions, because so-and-so on YouTube doesn't show them. Besides the fact that they want to be connected to their dad. They want to look up to their dad. They want to look up to their parents, to become the parents that show them by example, lead by example, be the man. Because we need to. Because it's necessary. Live the life that you want to live. It's time to create an authentic version of yourself and show the next generation how to live and how to be an authentic version of themselves, so that we can get back to being a society filled with individuals rather than a society that's ruled by large corporations and putting subliminal messages in advertising to get our kids to think about this and that and want this and want that. How about we allow our kids and show our kids how to explore these feelings? Because let's face it, if we don't, we're on a bad path. And that's it for today. That's my message. I hope you all gained some valuable insights from this. I hope that you're all going to take a minute of your time and really start to write down these feelings and explore these emotions by asking yourself these powerful questions that we talked about in this message today. And if this is a conversation that you want to continue having, if you would like to learn more, head on over to dadisincontrol.com. and click the button to join our free Facebook group. It's that easy. Also, if you haven't already done this, please head on over to iTunes or the podcast app that you're listening to this on and rate and review the podcast. It goes a long way for gaining exposure and delivering our message to other people that would benefit from hearing it. And that's it for today, guys. So until next time, we'll see you on the inside of the group.